If y'all only knew the stuff we talk about
before we get on.
We've been cutting up and we ain't even live yet.
Ciao.
Happy Friday.
Happy Friday. Yes.
Happy
Come on
Friday.
in, people.
Woo, child.
Shit is insane.
Hey.
What's up, Gwen?
What's up, Gwen? Happy Friday, party people.
Happy Friday.
I'm good. Listen, we was just talking offline. I'm gonna share it. Yep, I'm gonna share it. I was talking to them. I said, "Don't y'all shave my mustache, right? Because I can't stand when I have a mustache, but I ain't have time to shave it." And then we was talking about how we don't care. We don't shave. As for me and my house, sis, I'm shaving the pits. I'm shaving the mustache. I'm shaving it all. I can't.
Sis. All of it. Okay. Now listen.
I can't stand a 3/4 shadow. I just
Child, I can't do it. And the beard, like I can't do the 5 o'clock shadow.
I be plucking down here.
I be plucking too.
But these legs though, don't judge me. Don't come for me.
you like the comedian Moni?
Come on, listen. They have not been shaved since last year, and I don't care. You know what?
I
don't care.
Who gonna check me, boo? Now legs is, in the wintertime,
right. I haven't been out and about, in my swimsuit and stuff like.
Right.
So, whatever.
I hear you, sis.
And I'm still sexy. Say something.
Hey.
Boom. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
And I will admit, during the quarantine, sis has not had a pedicure in quite some time. And sis has not shaved her legs in quite some time. But what I'm not going to do is go in public with my legs out and not shave them. That's all I'm saying.
Right. You know what I'm saying?
Things is opening up.
Child.
Make your little appointments, ladies. Get your life together.
Get your life together. And if you're listening and your team no shave, listen, we respect you. Let us know.
Right.
Put hashtag team no shave in the comments. But
live your best life, your best hairy life, child.
Your best hairy life. Listen, underarm hair don't bother me. It really don't. But on my body, what we're not going to do is cornrow that up on our armpit. That's what we're not going to do.
When it's that long, it just be hanging.
That's what we're not gonna do. Okay. Hey, Cammy.
Hey, Cammy. Hi, boo. Cammy, I haven't forgot about you either, sis. I'm gonna call you. So I know we got a lot to do. So we had to get through the event last week, but I love you, sis. I'm gonna call you.
And speaking of the event last week, hey,
we did that.
We did that.
Cheers to y'all. Cheers. Okay.
Little virtual clink, clink.
Little virtual clink, 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 clink.
Y'all, we did that. We pulled that together in 2 weeks. Thank you to every single person who bought a virtual ticket, who came in person, who was a sponsor, who supported. Yes. I mean, for this to be our first event and to do this in less than 2 weeks, chop.
And you want to talk about knock knees, child, the whole night. My knees was like...
But y'all crushed it.
Thank you,
sis.
You too.
Okay.
I love y'all.
I feel like that performance, I just have to say personally, and let's just spill a little tea behind the scenes, okay? Because Carrie was the one that was like, we gonna perform, and I was like, that's what we not gonna do. And Carrie was like, yes, we are. And then, y'all, so we do the thing. I'm gonna say this part, y'all. We do the thing, and as we're doing the interview, and I don't know if y'all saw this live, but as we're doing the interview, we get to the end of the event, and we ask the panelists what they think about Strange Fruit. Now, y'all, as a vocalist, all of my favorite singers were on this panel. Every single one of them was like, I don't perform Strange Fruit. I can't do it. I don't. It's not in my repertoire. Da da da. Miss Diane Reeves was like, you have to do that song only on special occasions. Da 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 da. When I tell you, my heart was like, go in my chest. And Carrie was like, so we about to perform Strange Fruit, right?
Wait, I gotta say this. I hear them talking. I look over at Raj, and without any words, Raj is like, I ain't doing this song. And I was kind of like, And then I look at Carrie, and Carrie was looking at me like, we're going to do this song. And I was like, okay, sis. Like,
listen.
I was holding on to that mic like this, white knuckles and everything.
And you sounded beautiful. And
you
did.
We had
to do it for the culture.
We had to.
I feel like our ancestors are proud, and every single person that has been taken from this earth unjustly, I believe, was proud.
Amen.
Absolutely.
So, we did it for them. You know what I'm saying?
Yes. And I do feel like it made me want, Billie Holiday's story in general made me want to perform again, because who am I to sit around and play with my art and play with my music and be like, you know, I don't feel like performing, when this woman, the only thing that she wanted to do in her whole life was be on stage, and everybody was fighting her to do that.
Yes.
So,
girl, that.
But before we move on, I need to talk to you about this Monique Brooks Roberts realness I'm giving you with this hair right now. Okay?
Here we go.
Listen, I got some new hair, y'all. I got this from
it's cute.
It's a unit from Finger Comber. And listen, y'all, I love my bestie. She has the best hair of life. I know y'all love her curls. I wanted a little fro like that one that I, you know, because my curls don't look like this, but I could buy it though. So today I'm giving you Monique Brooks Roberts realness.
Oh my God. And it looks amazing on you.
Thank you, darling. Thank you. What's up, Joe Foke? Hi,
hey, girl. Thank you so much for being a part of it, sis. You know, we got to shout you out too.
Yes.
Hey, Camille. Hey, Sarahi. Hey, y'all. How y'all feeling this Friday? How y'all feeling? Y'all know we got a lot to talk about today.
We do. Okay? I know. And Nick, you said we wasn't going to be too long, and here I go. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Girl.
Listen, you know, sometimes you just got to be long. We had our event last week.
Got the popcorn out early.
Listen, I said we wasn't going to be long either, but then we started talking, and I said, things need to be talked about.
Right.
Amen.
Okay?
Amen.
Everybody watching, please share this to your feed. Yes. Please go ahead and hit that share button. Facebook, don't do watch parties anymore. Y'all trash. The gag is they sent us an email talking about, as of this date, we're not doing watch parties anymore. Raj was like,
watch parties like 2-3 months ago.
Okay.
The lies.
We ain't been able to do them since the pandemic, child.
Deceit.
I was like, Facebook, what are y'all talking about?
Right.
So, but you could still share it to your feed and folks will come in. So thank y'all for rocking with us. Thank y'all again. Now that more folks are in the place, thank y'all again for the support last week. We are so thrilled. And this is just only the beginning, y'all. We got a lot more up our sleeves, honey. So get ready. So let's get into these sisters in power, Raj.
I love the pregnant pause.
You know, y'all got the sips today. I don't have a sip today. All Black women are my sips for the week, but I know you have a couple, Raj, that you want to highlight.
Yes. So. Oh, I just want to say thank you to our Patreon sponsors.
Yes.
If you have not joined our Patreon yet, please carry with the come on. If you have not joined our Patreon sponsors,
what are you waiting for?
What are you waiting for, darling? It is not a lot of money. It helps us do these events.
Absolutely, it does.
Our goal is to travel and go to cities and do the sip. So we need y'all. So follow us on Instagram as well, our YouTube channel, Instagram, the sip_podcast. We appreciate the love, y'all. And rate us on Buzzsprout.
They can just go to their podcast platform of choice. Apple, Google, Amazon, all of that.
Yes. So we appreciate y'all. Okay. So my sisters in power. First of all, I just love how Black women be winning in Congress and in Washington, D.C. So y'all have to forgive me. I'm going to get over it in a little bit. But my sisters in power right now are still about the politics. What's up, Renee? Okay, so my first sister in power is Congresswoman Marcia Fudge, who is the Secretary of Housing and Urban Development, who gathered everyone during a press conference, honey, in the Oval Office, in the White House. What I just love when Black aunties rule the White House, because sis was like, good morning, everyone. And nobody said anything. And she was like, I say good morning.
I lived.
I thought I was in this room by myself. I was like, this is me as girl, yes.
Honey, did she not look like she was opening up a Bible to go to text?
Right.
And then she gave the side eye like, I'm going to beat your butt if you don't, you know.
Oh my God, that was everything.
I got to be with them damn students. Y'all don't hear me?
Thank you.
Oh, okay.
Tell them.
She was like, it's a new day up in Washington. I don't know if y'all heard, but I'm here now. So let's go ahead and get it.
Exactly.
But also, she's the first Black woman to hold this position in 40 years, which I think is ridiculous, but I'm happy for her. And second, my second sister in power is the Black state representative Park Cannon last night, who was arrested and dragged out of the state capitol in Georgia for standing up for the fairness of Georgia elections. Governor Kemp has now signed into law the worst voter suppression bills enacted since the Jim Crow era. Yep. Y'all, if you go on my Instagram, I posted there are numbers that you can call the representatives in Georgia to fight this and to get them to. I do feel like they have started a lawsuit against what Governor Kemp just signed into law. So hopefully it isn't over yet. But listen, Black folks gonna get to the polls. I don't know what you thought. I don't care what times you change. They will work it out. There will be whole church buses. There will be school buses. They will still come and vote your ass out. So whatever you think you're doing, it ain't going to win. Facts. So that's all I got to say about that.
Preach. Hey, Gigi.
Hey, Gigi. Honey, yes. Do you have any sips this week, Carrie?
I do not have any this week.
I don't either. Honestly, the first one that Roger did, that was Miss Fudge, honey.
Like, right. Put them together.
Carrie, I wanted to ask you, and I didn't get a chance to say it before we start, but do we want to announce Candy's event against violence? There's a Facebook event that she just put up, Buy a Plate for the Homeless.
Yes, so I'm going to go ahead and get the poster and get the link and stuff, and then I'll get that to y'all. I'll be sure to share it with you guys before we end the show. Cool?
Okay, awesome. Yeah. There's a Facebook event tomorrow, y'all. You can you don't have to be at the event, but you can buy a plate for the homeless. So we will share that information. And she is our forever sister in power for all the incredible work that she does. So,
all right.
Since y'all don't have sisters in power, can I just go ahead into my BAN?
Absolutely.
I'm ready.
And was it not funny though? Last week, y'all, we was trying to say BAN in the event, but not really say BAN. That cracked me up.
People be like, "What is a BAN?" I'll be like, "Sis, I'm trying to help you here. Like, let's use some context."
Be like, Google it. I'm like, is it on Google? I don't know.
I think it is in the Urban Dictionary, like UrbanDictionary.com. BAN. There you go.
Help me help you. What's up, Charlie? Welcome,
hey, Charlie.
Okay, so my BAN, and I'm sorry, and Joe Foke, you gonna know exactly who I'm talking about. Listen, my BAN is Black Republicans in 2021, and I'm gonna tell you why. I saw a post recently on Facebook of a person that I know. And I listen, I'm not going to say whether they're Republican or not. I'm making an assumption, but they do support Trump, and you can kiss my entire ass for that. But one person posted complaining about the laws against masks. And they were talking about how, it's infringing on our civil liberties and blah, blah, blah. Joe Foke, I see your comment. They were talking about how it's infringing on civil liberties and, what's next and blah, blah, blah. Black person. And I was like, there is world hunger. There is real shit going on in America. But you literally had the nerve to put a post up about masks. Okay, if you want to be mad about that, okay. There's hunger, there's discrimination, there's racism. People are dying from the police. People are dying from mass shooters. But you want to get on here and complain about masks? Miss me, kiss my entire ass, and stop supporting Trump with your foolish ass. So Black Republicans today are my... I ain't gonna say.
Yeah!
I almost lost it.
Get them
together.
Period. BAN forever.
She said what she said. She said what she said.
Do y'all have Black Republicans in your family? How do you deal? How do you really deal, sis? How do you go to Thanksgiving and have conversations with Black people who support this stuff? That I don't understand it. I'm done. I ain't gonna take too much time because I could go on. But you a fool, girl, and I'm gonna tell you in your comments, in your I don't care if we're friends. I don't care if we're whatever. That mess right there is some bullshit.
It is. Okay. Period.
I'm sorry. I'm still mad. I'm gonna be all right.
No, but I agree. It is ridiculous why we are having conversations around masks 1 year later.
And you mad?
Big mad. Big
because
mad.
you have to wear a mask to protect yourself and everybody else. Like, there's real shit going on, and this is what you complain about. And then had the nerve to say, well, our civil liberties, what's next? I was like, people been infringing on our civil liberties
since the
for
beginning
how many
of
hundreds
time.
of fucking years?
The
But
founding of this
okay.
country. But okay.
But okay. Go off, sis. Go off.
The delusion, man. I'm sorry. Okay. Yes, it's an oxymoron,
Gigi said
Gigi.
it's an oxymoron. Yes. And Camille says.
Let me meet a black Republican.
It's so weird. I'm just sick of weird people.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, y'all feel me? Like, I can't.
Right.
That internalized depression is real.
Child. Let me
internalized racism. Like, you just, I mean, but then you do events for black people, and you do events for the community.
How?
And I'm just, I cannot. I'm sorry.
While we out here dying at disproportionate rates from COVID.
Right. Talking about where's the facts. You know what? I'm a exit stage left and back away. Because if you can't, okay.
And still defending Trump in 2021. Still.
I saw somebody in a Jeep the other day with the flag coming out the car. I was like, it's over, bruh. It's over. Oh, Jesus, fix it.
And I saw you, Jay said, them raggedy, don't call me for, thank you, Jay, thank you. And it makes me so sad. I'm gonna leave it at that because I love my friends, and y'all know what I'm saying. Those of you who know, I love my friends who who work with different people from different spectrums, all of that. But I cannot abide that shit no more. I just can't. And also, if you're gonna be like that, don't say that you do stuff to support black people. Like, just don't. Just go work for the white people and leave us the fuck alone. How about that?
That part.
Well, drop the mic. Sexual chocolate.
I'ma shut up, Nick. I'ma shut up.
Chocolate. No. Listen, I live for your reads because y'all know I'm about to do a read of life. Okay?
I'm ready for this one. Come on, Jesus. It's gonna be good too.
Honey, this little wine from our event got me a little lights. Okay.
Shout out to the wine mistress.
Shout out to the wine mistress for holding us down. Much love, Maya. Thank you so much. This wine actually comes from a black woman-owned vineyard in Napa. Who gonna check me, boo? There you go.
From the wine suite.
The wine suite.
Come on.
Yes, Theopolis.
Yes.
And we have to thank them because they donated red and white bottles for our event. And I'm going to drink the white next week so y'all can see it. But yeah.
Honey,
Joe said, leave me alone. Listen.
Leave me alone.
If you ain't about the positivity and the future of our people.
That's it.
And you are voting for shit that actually puts us in cages. And you're voting for legislators who literally want us dead and don't want us to vote. Fuck you very much. And I'm done.
Hallelujah. Thank you, Lord. Put her in B flat. Put her in B flat.
I'll take B flat. Thank you.
Okay. That was BA number 1.
Right.
BA in number 2. If anybody could just guess what we finna talk about tonight. Okay?
Oh, y'all know. We all know.
Jesus. I'm going to say bonnet. I'm going to say armor of God. I'm going to say the breastplates of heaven.
Yes.
I need to go on mute.
The bonnet from the Corner's Chinese store in Philly.
Blink twice if you can see us, sis.
If you can see us, sis. Listen.
If you're a hostage.
If y'all have not been living in a hole, you know the absolute and utter ridiculousness that is Mr. Derek Jackson. Jackson with an X, not sure why.
Because you a BAN.
Because you a BAN. Amen.
But if you have been living in a hole this week and you have not been on the interwebs, Derek Jackson is a self-proclaimed relationship guru
Even that.
Where he tells women
that part.
Where he tells women, okay, how to get a man, keep a man, be with a man, and women actually follow this nigga. So he wrote a book saying, Rod, stop it.
It's too much.
He wrote a book about how to heal each other without hurting each other, how to heal your relationship without hurting. And sir, you have been putting your ding-a-ling into several coochies that is not your wife.
That's not your wife. Didn't he also write a book about the heart of a cheating man or some bullshit?
Yes, he did.
So he knew.
And had much to say with one of our other resident BANs, John Gray.
When I saw John Gray in the comments,
sir, have several seats. You can't say nothing, sir. Take your no neck having ass and go on somewhere.
I'm done. Not no neck.
Listen, ladies, listen. I am speaking to the Avengers.
You sis.
And what's the girl's name? What's his wife's name? Shania, Andrea, Danaya.
I forgot.
Girl, don't give me the line. Let me Google real quick. If y'all know, put it in the thing.
Put it in the chat. Yeah, I forgot.
Danaya.
I knew I was something, honey. Danaya. Sis, stop going to social media and doing these long-ass monologues.
Please.
About the devil making your husband's penis mysteriously fly into other vaginas.
Oh, the mysterious ways of the Lord.
Because, ma'am, Jesus cannot fix this, sis. Okay? And the devil did not.
It was a lie from the pit of hell.
The devil did not do this.
The devil did not do this.
And I want to just go a step further because we all know this is a hot ass mess. Like, it's a hot mess. Like, it's just so many layers. Now, apparently, one of the girls came out. She's pregnant. One of them had an abortion back in November. Like, what? Sis, it's messy boots, child.
I didn't know that.
Messy. But I'm going to say something, okay, for all you church folks out there, okay? Because I grew up and was raised in this. When you are constantly told that sex is dirty, sex is wrong, you can't do this, you're going to burn in hell, honey. I would go further, but I'm trying to be respectful in the interweb land, okay? Then you're just supposed to suddenly flip a switch when you become married or you get into these relationships and you find out sex is great.
Right.
So then you're like,
Y'all see Joe?
Becky and every.
Whoa. What?
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Ow! Now.
I'm sorry. I was just Joe's comment.
Listen.
Me, honey.
At the house 318. 318. That was last Thursday, honey. Before our event, honey. He was knocking boots when we was planning for the event. I want to say this. Churches, listen. Y'all not helping this, okay? Y'all not helping this. If a man cannot be monogamous, don't get married, point blank, and the period. I will forever respect Marlon Wayans for saying, I'm never getting married because I'm trash and I love these hoes and I can't do it. Like,
know thyself.
Know thyself.
Know thyself. Marlon was like, I ain't gonna get wrapped up with nobody, fall in love, hurt her, and then be, when I know what I like to do. And all of y'all church suckers, sit down.
Right.
And this is a deeper conversation, which we can have because I'm really trying to bring the Unfit Christian on here. I love her. She's dope on Instagram. I really want to have her this summer. But y'all not ready. Christians ain't ready for this conversation around non-monogamy. They're not. Because if y'all would stop telling people that they need to commit to one person when they can't, and when y'all stop telling women, I bet all the little money I got in my bank account. Well, it ain't that little, but I bet all the money I got in my bank account. I bet all the money I have in my bank that them suckers went to the council of the pastor, and the pastor said, the devil used them, honey. You know, the devil, the enemy will creep in like a thief in the night. And you gotta leave these Jezebels. You gotta, exactly. Pray for him. You supposed to hold him up. You supposed to, and just forgive him. How much you want to bet?
I'm gonna say what I said, just like I did about Beyonce and Jay-Z. And I know.
Speak
I
on
know
it,
I shouldn't bring it up again, but here's the thing. Listen, I understand that people are human. I get that. But sis, if you don't do a whole weekend, if you don't do a something, if literally you just go on Facebook holding this man's hand about his indiscretions for you, against you, and you ain't done not, sis, when I tell you, it would be Freaknik weekend, we might get back together. We might get back together. I ain't gonna, because I love that Negro's dirty draws. We might get back together. But honey, before we do, I'm wilding out. And I'm gonna tell you about yourself on the internet. I'm gonna cut you the fuck out. Even if I stay with you, I'm gonna say that nigga ain't shit. And you know, he did X, Y, and Z and whatever. I still love him. We gonna work it out. But whatever he did, he trashed for that. Trash. But don't get on there with the bonnet.
Don't get on there. Like, no. That's what we not finna do. Sis, go to therapy, get yourself some self-love, and leave that nigga.
Did you say you can get your hair did while you hold him up? I ain't holding.
She really could though. She could. I'm gonna tell you the last thing I would do is be holding your hand. Girl. I was so lost. And the no bra, honey, she just rolled up out of bed, honey, and said, I ain't got no bra on. I'm gonna put this bonnet on, and you gonna get these titties. You gonna get this.
When I tell you, I would just said I'm gonna do a whole weekend on her behalf. A few weeks,
on her behalf. If I wasn't married, I would find me a Morris Chestnut lookalike, and let's go, sir.
And not only that, I certainly wouldn't be on no live not looking pressed the fuck out, honey. When I tell you makeup, I would have had somebody do my face. The hair would have been beat. I'd have been sitting on one end of the couch. He'd have been on the whole other end of the room, just in case I get mad and decide to throw a shoe at him in the middle of the interview. Like that's what I'm. But I'm not gonna be holding your hand and letting you talk to me. That's what the hell I'm not doing.
I'd have been looking like $1 million. Who gonna check me, boo? And then I really would have gagged your ass because I would have got up and just left it. And you know what? Actually, Derek, I'm done with you, sir. I'm done. And I would have got up.
Boom.
You know,
even if I came back.
Which, you know what? You got somebody in my bed in my house. No.
In my bed.
There ain't no coming back from that. There's no coming back from that. There is not enough therapy. There is not enough prayer, anointing oil. Okay? You can shout all you want around me. There's not enough to make me trust you again.
Hell no.
And I'd probably be in jail because if you take a picture of my husband's feet in the bed and you send it to me, you ain't gonna be living much longer. He ain't gonna be living neither, but you still ain't gonna be living because the gall, honey. The gall. Okay, I'm
the gall. And I really hope his career tanks. And I hope she gets her hair done and takes her babies and bounces.
Right. Grab your coochie and run, sis.
Grab your coochie and run, girl. Run, Forrest, run.
So that's what said. Y'all gonna take these low tits. Listen.
She said, I ain't got time today. Yes, we do. You know, ultimately, she's brainwashed. And that's the biggest thing that I got. When I watched her, I did watch her whole 7.5-minute monologue. I said, honey, this will win somebody an Oscar one day. Sis was like, y'all are not kingdom-minded. And I was like, girl, I don't have nothing to say for you. Like, you need medication at this point.
I don't know what kingdom that is.
Really
I don't want to
be a part of that kingdom.
I don't. That's not the kingdom that I want to be a part of, sis.
It's not my God. Nope.
It's not. It's not.
And just can we talk about healthy relationships?
Can we talk about
if someone disrespects you, I'm so sick of women teaching young girls that this is what you should put up with. That is why there's so many stories like this. Like, no, I'm gonna teach my daughter, hit that motherfucker with a frying pan and get the fuck out. Like, there's no reason why you should accept this kind of treatment, this kind of behavior. I mean, I'm kidding. I'm not kidding actually, but I'm just saying, like.
It's so annoying. It's like, can y'all do better?
Carrie's face is killing me. I know. Okay, we going in.
And we're done. We could talk a lot longer about this and go in depth, but we have a special, amazing guest with us, and we want to bring her on because we want y'all to experience her fabulousness.
I have to say, listen. I'm gonna pray for the bonnet. I'm not praying for them. I'm praying for the bonnet.
Oh Lord!
The bonnet was like, I ain't asked to be here. You know, we in this video, and you know, I was just supposed to come out at night, and now all of a sudden you got me on live, and I done went viral. You know,
child, where is the bonnet stock? Where is the bonnet stock? The bonnet stock done. Okay, if somebody got a bonnet stock, can I put $50 on a bonnet stock?
Can we get her a better bonnet? How about that?
Can we get her a better? Jesus, we are terrible.
I'm Lord. Terrible. The Lord is working on me, Jesus.
You know, in all honesty, though, I do want her to get help, and I hope and pray that her eyes open and see the narcissist, horrible human being of a husband she is married to and decided to have children with this nigga. Like, I do really hope that she is enabling.
That she is enabling.
That she's enabling. Thank you.
So it's like she's gonna have to really. Right.
Y'all weren't on no damn break when he was knocking boots. You were not. Stop it.
Was you on a break March 18th, boo? Was you on a break 6 days ago?
When I tell you Aaron Brooks Roberts would not have a penis and balls no more.
Lorena Bobbitt.
Sling.
I'd be like, Raj, I need you to meet me at the stove. We got to get the right knife, sis. I need to make sure it's the right diameter, right length.
Like, damn, let me call it
right. And I'm going to be like, give me 3 Juanas. I'm going to give him 3 Juanas, and then I'm going to knock him out. And then
oh, Jesus. Poor Aaron.
In my house, in my bed where I laid with these babies when I was pregnant. In my bed. Oh, no. Thank you, Tammy. Yes. Yes, Tammy. You feel me, Tammy. You feel me. Okay. You got a BA in, Carrie.
Oh, no. I was just
I know, poor Carrie. I'm sorry. We were talking so much shit today.
Woo, honey.
First, I wanted to say shout out to Beautiful.
Yes.
I had to rock my pink joint today. And I see you rocking the love.
Yes, I am.
So
all we need is love.
Go to www.beautiful.com to support this incredible designer, y'all. But let's move on. Okay. I'm excited about this lady. And I knew we was going to get on Derek Jackson, Lord Jesus. So forgive us, y'all. And thank you for being patient. But I'm excited about this sister that we're going to bring on.
They wanted to hear it.
Right. And y'all know y'all got stuff to say about it. Anyway.
Y'all wanted to hear it. Okay.
But I'm excited about this sister because I met her when she was living in Colorado. And literally we got a chance to hang out right before they moved. We'll talk about their move in a second. But I really, really respect her. I love her I love her mission. I love what she's about. And her husband, Keenan, and her beautiful baby. Let me tell you something. Her beautiful baby, Tegan. Well, he's a toddler now. I said, how's the baby? She was like, he's 2 years old. So I'm late. But he was so cute. He came to our house and he just smelled like baby, like all the goodness. So, but I want to introduce you to this woman, Vanessa Koch. Is a cannabis lifestyle coach for the entrepreneurial mom, and she's also the president of Nessie Media. She's a tireless advocate for the relationship between plant and behavioral science. We'd Love to Talk, her new company, was created to empower consumers and professionals of color to effectively discuss this enigmatic plant with their children and to raise responsible industry leaders in the cannabis movement. an essential parenting style for the modern mom. Without further ado, I'd love to introduce to you Vanessa Koch of We'd Love to Talk. Welcome, sis.
That was beautiful, Raj. Thank you.
I'm so happy you're here, girl. And thank you for putting up with us.
Oh, I loved it. I was chiming in the back,
Listen, we can get into what you think about it, but I'm gonna ask some other questions first, and then we'll get into it. But first, what are you sipping on, sis?
Okay, so I'm drinking a THC infused electrolyte drink, and it's great. Okay.
Good.
Yes, it tastes delicious. It's only 10 milligrams, so perfect for sipping on. It's by a local company called, what is it called? Aponia, and they have different flavors. It comes in powder form, and you can just add it to your water and sip on it.
Listen, I have some infusion questions for you too, but first we have a question of the day, and I highlighted it, Carrie, so I don't miss it this time. Go ahead. I miss it every week.
All right.
You ready?
Yeah, I'm nervous.
Oh, don't be nervous. It's gonna be fun. So, you have been given all of the financial resources to write your own book in 1 year. Mm-hmm. So, for a year from now, you're expected to write a book. What is that book about? Tell the world.
Ooh.
How to talk to your Black kid about cannabis.
Okay.
There you go.
Okay. Yes.
That's perfect. That's perfect.
Monique,
that's it.
Nick, what's your...
Come back to me.
Okay.
You know what? No. I'll keep it short and sweet. How to not be like the process of not being supported in your craft, and then learning how to really invest in yourself, love yourself, believe in yourself, and what that process looks like. I'd love to write a whole book about that.
See, y'all was all philosophical, and I was gonna say some bullshit.
Girl, say yours. No, say yours. Say yours.
No, I have a friend, Blue, Molly, who used to be my friend in Boston, and we used to talk about this all the time, about this title, and I think she might have come up with it. But I would say you can't make this shit up. Like My Fabulous Life. The things that, and it would be about entrepreneurship. It would be about a way to monetize yourself and all of your income streams. Because I feel like, I'm a vocalist. We do the podcast. We have Black Girl Fit Club. There's so many other things that we're doing. And so my book would be something about business and entrepreneurial, but it would be called You Can't Make This Shit Up, because the stuff that happens on that journey is just crazy. So I think it'd be an interesting story.
That's good.
I'm with that.
Or it'd be a book about bubbly. I don't know.
Prosecco.
Prosecco, darling. That would be in my book.
Yes. Mine would be it would probably be like some Afrofuturistic type joint where there's like 6 Black women that are superheroes, that are like a collective that just fuck it all up. Like, we just gonna change the whole goddamn world. You know what I'm saying? Like, we gonna have an artist in there. We gonna have somebody in there working on policy. We gonna have people in there that know how to educate the babies. But like, it's gonna be, I don't know. We gonna find ways to make their superpowers like just hella dope.
Ooh, I love
yes, I love that.
I would love to see something. I'm going to write that book, so y'all be
listen,
and it would be fire.
At some point.
You're gonna be the next Octavia Butler. I love it.
Oh yes, honey.
Okay, so Vanessa, tell us who Vanessa Koch is.
Oh my gosh, who am I? I'm a mom, and I'm a wife. So I am a business owner, and I also love the performing arts. That's actually how I met y'all in Colorado. It's so important, theater to me. And, I think something that's so special about being human is that we get to wake up and decide to recreate ourselves every day. So
and that you can write your own story. You can, decide who you are
yeah,
in
that's
any
who I
given
am.
moment.
Yeah.
That segues into my next question, actually, because you used to be a social worker, and I wanted to know, how did a social worker from Colorado become a cannabis lifestyle coach in Tulsa, Oklahoma? And I don't know if you're from Colorado, but I know I met you there. So how did you become this cannabis lifestyle coach in Tulsa?
Yeah, so well, yeah, I was working as a social worker in Colorado last January, right before the pandemic. And I was working as a trauma-informed parenting coach for people involved in, had open cases with the government. And then I was also doing trauma work as a clinician in the residential home. So I was helping families try to reunite. And then I was watching the children who had already, left their parents and were in the orphanages. And I had a lot of cases come through where none of the government officials had any cannabis education except for the classification, federally legal drug. And so there was just a lot of different family dynamics and scenarios that I didn't feel comfortable with, the government deciding if this parent was a capable caregiver because they had their medical marijuana card. And so fortunately I helped one mother who was consuming cannabis on the day she didn't have her kid, be able to keep custody rights. And so after that, I decided to try to grow a program within the company I was working for, kept getting told no. And then I was like, all right, I'm out.
Yes.
I see what I have to do. And something that really pushed me, Tegan was only 8 months, and I had unfortunately lost my sister a couple of months prior to that as well. And she just told me some things that were near and dear to me that I plan on executing throughout my life. And I just needed to step out on my own. And I'm a cannabis mom, so of course the lifestyle I wasn't open about it. I didn't need to be. But as soon as I became involved in traditional healthcare again through my pregnancy, of course, there was just no resources, couldn't find a community to go to.
Right.
Cannabis doulas are now popping up, right? We're seeing that more and more. We're starting to see social work and cannabis pop up more and more, but it's such a new concept. I just didn't have that. And so I really just started studying plant science. And so I actually went to school for nursing.
I didn't know that.
And I'm from the Panhandle of Oklahoma, but my business was chosen for the Tulsa Remote Grant. And so we got up and moved to Tulsa, Oklahoma, back at home. And I always joke that they had to pay me to come back here. So
that's how even me in Michigan. You got to pay me, honey. No,
you had to pay me to come back. Yes, yeah. So we have a lot of, I love all the topics that y'all brought up earlier at the beginning of the show, because I live in a red state. I live in a very small conservative state, Republican state, and it has been incredibly challenging. The infrastructure of our society and our educational system and our healthcare system is a business model, and it has been created for people of color to fail.
Period.
Period. And it's ridiculous. It's archaic and borderline obsolete, which I believe is dangerous. I believe is dangerous for my son.
I totally, and I'm going to ask you a little bit more about that in a second. But since we have it up, first of all, happy birthday. Your birthday is soon, right? Is this Tuesday coming up?
Yeah, March 30th. I'm going to be 32 years old.
Yay! Happy birthday!
Thank you.
And as part of your birthday, you launched We'd Love to Talk. So congratulations on your new website. And on your site, you call yourself a mom boss on the go. Can you talk a little bit more about the parenting skills, like coaching aspect of your brand? Because I'm really, as someone who wants to have children, I think that your parenting skills is really something I'm interested in.
I was thinking about this earlier today, and I think that my passion is children. That's my focus. I don't want to like give them a couple of tools. Like I'm trying to shoot my son, like slingshot him forward for success, and have multitudes of things that I didn't have, breaking generational curses, building a legacy, owning land. And I believe that we should be able to do that within the cannabis industry as well. My parenting style comes a lot of positive psychology theories that we didn't even start studying until the late 60s. Unfortunately, y'all probably know, but data doesn't influence policy. And so we have these ideals of how we could speak to people and how we can, navigate at work or at school that would like incubate a positive reaction. And so a lot of that is based with positive psychology, understanding how the brain develops, and then formulating that with scripts to get the answer you're wanting from your child. Now, when we're talking about cannabis, there's so many different dynamics, right? I have a toddler. That's way different than a teenager who's stealing your pot.
Right.
So a lot of that's rooted in that. So a lot of, I have non-negotiables, like the 3 things. But if I were to do, one of my passions is to influence policy and change history and change healthcare and start bridging that gap. I can expect my son to be watching me all day doing what I'm doing and not expect me to be raising an entrepreneur, a trailblazer, a risk taker. He's stubborn because he is Keenan and I. And and though it's very infuriating, but a lot of yeses, non-negotiables, here are your options, and freaking being honest.
Right, with your kid, yes, having real conversations.
Yes, because I think the challenge is that, during the pandemic, we've witnessed a lot of collisions. We're stuck at home, right? So consumption rates went up. Parents took the lead in consuming cannabis. Children typically start, experimenting with drugs from home prior to the pandemic. Traditional, drug education programs are not working. They don't teach social skills.
Right.
And so it's just a bunch of those like ideals and methods and concepts squished together and really helping people understand how cannabis is a risk to children, but it's also an opioid rehabilitation in the right context.
That part.
It is. And whenever we're talking about consumption, that may be triggering, but the war on drugs is very real. I am being stubborn to authority every day, and my son sees that. We're going to take risks, but how do we teach our children to be calculated?
Yes. And I wanted to ask you, I'm going to skip ahead a little bit. Can we talk about what's happening with the cannabis industry in Oklahoma right now? I saw a post that you made about, I think it's Metric, and their need for more trainings and licenses and integration for people with disabilities. Like, what's the fight there with the industry when it comes to equity?
Let's get into it. I just had a moment where I just posted on Facebook, I'm a perfectionist, so I like think of everything, especially like involving children in the conversation. Like, we're criminalized at almost 4 times the rate. There's no secure parental rights. I'm putting myself out here the most I can by being so transparent and like welcoming people into my home about this lifestyle. And so Oklahoma is a newly regulated market. It's just been medicinal for a little bit over a year. They did make it more accessible than other states, starting licenses at a more affordable rate, like $2,500. To me, that's still a lot in the pandemic, but there are the most Black-owned dispensaries and grow operations, I believe, and grow operations in the state of Oklahoma than anywhere in the United States.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yes, which is exciting, and we're happy for that. The issue that I have is quality of products. So a lot of people want to be a part of the lucrative industry, but don't know how to operate a business. It's different from smoking it than growing it.
Right.
And like little things like that, that causes potential harm. So it's a little bit of the wild, wild west right now. I think they were just like, legalize it. Oh, and then let's catch up with the laws.
Of course.
And of course, you already know it's a mess. It's frustrating, especially like someone who, like me, I am a mom. I'm a boss with a toddler on my hip. Like I dose on purpose. Like I need to know when it's hitting, how much I'm getting. I need to know that I can work, that I need to sleep at this time, etc. And so you run into some of those issues. I do believe that they are accessible, but I was having this conversation with Keenan that I don't believe that making it more accessible is also equal. But educate me because I'm learning. Because if you're still out here, it depends on each governing body and how they feel each day. And I get pulled over and I have my medical marijuana card and I just left the dispensary and I have a car seat in my car.
Right. Exactly.
I don't have a foundation there.
Right. Absolutely. Right. What kind? And I mean, we can even talk about the thousands of people who are in prison right now for low marijuana laws who need to be released. And, that's a whole nother conversation. Yeah. But I want to ask you a little bit more about advocacy. On your site, you were talking about the medical marijuana patient who was threatened to lose her baby over microdosing and fathers being denied custody because they work in the cannabis industry. How do you see your work as an advocate helping even more in situations like that?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think that because there isn't a system in place, a lot of that work is kind of like a hidden figure. And unfortunately, that's also another frustrating part is that if it's not accessible and equal, then a lot of people of color are having to like ride the fence of being legal and still grassroots, which is also harmful and dangerous. So I think just a lot of people message me in the DMs and I'll just answer as best as I can, give them some guidance just from my history of like what the court's going to look for. I haven't had a client when I worked for another company refuse to stop cannabis. It was, okay, I was doing a little bit of cannabis, but I was also on meth a year ago. Like, give people time to heal.
Right, that part.
And grow. So, and like, let's look at those. Let's look at those factors when we're having these conversations, but what am I doing to advocate? Oh, getting on platforms like this. That's why I didn't want to do a nonprofit. You can't lobby certain ways in certain states. And so I've created my own platform. So I'm very serious because the special thing about my platform is I don't touch the plant. So I'm an ancillary business, which means I profit from the lucrative, industry, and I can use that and put it back into my community. Whereas plant touching, can't do that. Because I believe, you're right. We have people out here dying on the streets. Why are there people on the streets? Why are there kids in school without laptops when you're pulling in $5 million a month in marijuana sales?
Right, that part.
No, it's ridiculous. It needs to stop. Like, I'm done. And that's where I'm at. But just advocating, I get a lot of moms, even dads. There's not really anywhere for dads, especially dads of color, to have a safe place to speak about, these issues, these essential topics. So.
Yeah, I appreciate you, honestly, because I can say full throttle that cannabis saved my life during the pandemic. Whether it's THC infused drinks, whatever. But this mess right here is not easy, and the things that we do to keep ourselves sane are so good. Go ahead, Carrie. Carrie has a question for you.
Yeah, hey Vanessa. No, I love to, have a conversation about like the decriminalization of it, you know what I mean? And really curious about, are there any expungement efforts going on in in Oklahoma right now. Like I know out here in Colorado, they're, saying that they're working on these exclusivity bills, and it's not
Mm-hmm.
ultimately serving the people that it has harmed, you know what I mean,
Right.
over time. And there's, like you said, like Colorado was the first state and there's still people locked up, and there's still people that can't even access licenses because of their records. You know what I mean? And so I was just curious to know, like, what how do we lobby our government officials to really support expungements of these people's records, especially for nonviolent offenses, and even revisiting violent offenses to understand the context of what was going on. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Absolutely, absolutely. And yeah, that's a wonderful question. These are the questions that we should be asking. It's incredibly important. I'm embarrassed to say, speaking on behalf of Oklahoma, that, oh, sorry, my light went out. I'm not, so if you don't have your medical marijuana card and you get caught, you'll go straight to jail. The expungements, I haven't heard anything about that. Unfortunately, Oklahoma is the highest incarceration rate for women in the United States. We have an 8th grade reading level. Okay. So let me back up a little bit. The Tulsa Remote Grant was to bring in other people, other business owners to rebuild Tulsa. It was created to help rebuild after the Tulsa Massacre of 1921, and this is the 100th anniversary for that this June.
Wow.
So we got a lot of work to do here. I have a lot of work to do here, Carrie, and we've been here for 8 months, just trying to be heavily involved in the community. It's still a very small town. Everybody knows each other, so it was hard as outsiders to come in and also COVID, to establish those relationships. But you're right, it's a special type of verbiage when you're lobbying for cannabis. There's really no room for mistakes. There are courses you can take from like the National Organization of Marijuana Reform Laws, for like $35. If that's something you're super passionate about, speaking directly to politicians. Of course, you can write letters. I do that often.
Right.
And things like that, depending on the current issue. But the last time I heard, they were trying to get medical marijuana cards for their pets, and I was just like, I'm taking a break.
Come on. Right. Come on.
Y'all, do not give THC to your pets. It's bad. It's bad. Do not give THC to your pets. But no, I need to look into that. I'm gonna see the answer for that, Carrie, and get back to you.
Yeah, no, girl, because I just want to know, like, how we can come together to support each other in this effort, because I know there's a lot going on at the federal level, but there's so much that can happen at the local level. Literally, like, states are violating federal law. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
As they're legalizing. And so yeah, just curious to know how we can support.
I love that. Thank you so much. Yeah.
And I want to ask you, who is your greatest? Do you have any cannabis entrepreneur inspirations? Like, are there people right now in the industry, especially, maybe people of color, women of color, that you look at that you feel like, okay, I love what this woman is doing. Like, I know we have Simply Pure here in Denver that Carrie works with. Like, do you have anybody that is like your inspiration from that perspective?
It's a really small community.
I know, maybe you're your own inspiration.
I think there's it's dramatic, but like there's 20 of us, and we all know each other, because we have to come together.
Right.
Yeah.
We have to come together. And Wanda James loves Simply Pure. I was gonna tell you, Carrie, that they have the Ohighs that I love. They're seltzer, THC and food seltzers, so there's no sugar or anything in it.
I'm sorry, THC infused La Croix, excuse me.
Oh, here we go.
It's a legal
Yes.
Yes. They're a small owned Colorado, I think Boulder, Colorado brand, if you know what I'm saying. Go on the lake.
Yes.
Yeah, be careful.
Simply
Pure has them. But yeah, what was I saying? I don't know. Mom brain.
No, just who are your inspirations? But
my inspirations. who are my inspirations as cannabis entrepreneurs? First of all, entrepreneurship is so real.
Yeah.
I love, if you're writing a book about that, we need it. Um, there's so many. Hope Wiseman. I sit on the board of directors of Mommies to Mary Jane, which is a Virginia-based nonprofit for cannabis moms. And all of those women are incredible. They're all mothers. We're all in different states, and we just came together from one event, and it's almost been a year now. And we built a nonprofit together during a pandemic with our kids. And those ladies are so inspiring. I couldn't have done this year without them.
That is awesome. And let's talk a little bit more about We'd Love to Talk. Like, what is your 5-year plan for your business? Because you're literally launching, and guys, go to www.we'dlovetotalk.com. What is your 5-year plan for this business?
Well, I love today's question because I'll be a published author by the end of this year.
Yeah, come on.
Awesome.
It's like I'm writing a book, actually.
Right.
They just, you just clarified that for me. Working on that. Let's see, Tegan will be 2. So a lot of interactive mom time traveling. But for We'd Love to Talk, published author, we're going to have all of our coaching packages bundled. I really hope to be using this, like I said, to give back to the community. I would love to build some hemp multifamily homes here in Tulsa.
Heck yeah.
Environmentally friendly, affordable. And what else? 5 years? I think by then I'll just be passive income.
Honey.
Income. Yes, honey.
Let's go.
That is the goal around here.
I don't know. I mean, sky's the limit. And the thing is, like, yeah, you have a plan, but it's also I've just set myself up to create the opportunities I want.
Yes.
Yes.
That's it.
Mm-hmm.
You guys want to be on stage? You created your own podcast. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
We're out here making our own commercials. We're building our own website.
That's right.
We're trademarking our names.
Hell yes. Hell yes. Mm-hmm.
I have a question for you around your packages. So when you said your packages, I got really intrigued. What does that look like? So what kind of things will you be offering? Can you tell our listeners, our viewers, what, like, for maybe parents who are new parents, who are maybe new to cannabis, or just whatever, like, what are the resources that you're going to be providing?
Yeah, so I'll definitely have some introductory courses, very simple. I think there's a lot of people, like I said, it was like 42% of people who didn't consume cannabis chose to consume cannabis this year.
Wow.
We don't, too many.
And once you go, you never go back. No, I'm just kidding.
Hey. So we'll have a little bit of basics, but I think, so basic, beginnings, it's going to be very simple. Like I said, if we have a majority of our listeners at an 8th grade reading level, and we're also talking to our kids, then it needs to be at an 8th grade reading level. The unique thing about my coaching bundles is that something I struggled with starting a business, being stuck at home with a little one, and just being isolated more than ever with our, the demands and responsibilities of managing a home, is that I didn't have time for an hour-long webinar. So these are going to be backed in science. They'll be no longer than 10-minute visual e-learning courses that you can just plug into a day at a time to help, where you're at. There'll also be some workbooks that you can create to fit your unique family dynamic. And when I say that, I mean, there are a lot of parents who have children with medical marijuana cards, but they don't consume cannabis, or, a caregiver, and things like that. So yeah, I'm really excited.
That's an interesting point, because what if you have a child that uses medical cannabis for, whatever their conditions are. But you're a parent who doesn't consume. How do you advocate for your child? I feel like you're going to have a lot of great things that you can teach the parents about that. So now I'm gonna have a little fun with you. What's your favorite cannabis strain?
Lavender.
Wait a minute, there is a lavender?
What's lavender?
It's called lavender. I can't ever find it.
Oh.
Is that an indica?
It's like you want to dance around the house naked. That's like the kind of like maybe do some creating, some art. But it's a sativa, but I can never find it. Yeah, lavender. That's my favorite strain.
Yes. And you know what? I'm going to segue just a second because on your Instagram page, and I did not know that you had this kind of voice, honey. But on your Instagram page, there are clips of you with a little guitar playing. And when I tell you, your voice is amazing. Like,
thank you.
I would love to hear you sing, make some music with you, something, sis. You are so super talented.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much. I actually I just got into a show. I had rehearsal today. Yeah, so I haven't been on stage for about 10 years, and I kind of naturally stopped singing after my sister died, and I was like, it's time.
Yeah.
Your
voice is incredible. I love it. And listen,
thank you.
Come on back to Denver so we can do some shows and stuff and have some fun.
We'll be there.
So you're a mom, wife, and career woman, and that can be tough to balance. What does self-care look like for you?
Noise canceling headphones.
Amen.
Girl, yes.
Shout out the world.
Yes.
We live in a 2-bedroom apartment. Tegan is bouncing off the walls.
Right.
You can still hear him. It's not like you're going to be neglecting your kid. I'll probably get some. That should be one of my products because I'm a huge advocate for noise canceling headphones, music. We're right on the riverside downtown Tulsa. So I love watching people or walking. I have one little mountain, so I'm hiking a little bit, not as much.
I need to get outside more. So yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, anything outside. Absolutely. Yeah. Teens too. I mean, this is the funnest time to interact with him, and like everything's so brand new, and he's obsessed with basketball, and he's obsessed with his cars, and but self-care is just being disciplined to be like, no, I come first because then I'm gonna balance everything else for you.
Yes.
And I have such an incredible husband. That's how I self-care, man. You got to pick a partner.
Right.
Who's gonna allow it?
Honey, tell the people. Tell
okay.
Yes.
Don't be out here marrying Derek Jacksons, y'all. Get you.
Right. What's his name? It's so funny because I used to listen to him because I'm like, he's cute.
Right.
Now, I am obsessed with behavioral science. I knew what he was doing. They all do it. And that's like one of my things as a coach. I'm like, I don't want people to think I'm a fraud. Like, no, that's why we have mom hacks because it's not always pretty. It's freaking messy. We make mistakes, but we gotta, we've got to create our credibility. Yes. So it's not about being perfect. It's about being predictable. Yeah. And Keenan would be like, why are you listening to him? And I'm like, he cute. That's why.
That's the only reason.
So he's just laughing, eating it up at all this new story and stuff. But I loved following people like him because I was really interested in like, wow, this really works on people like this. And I want to follow the funnel,
Yes.
Yes. But he ain't got no money for me. He didn't get no money.
Right. And you know what? I think that too. I'm always fascinated. And I know Nick and I used to have like reality TV show binges and stuff. I'm always fascinated by the human behavior and what makes people do the things that they do. Right. But I stop at following your ass on some bullshit. I'll watch you and eat popcorn like Carrie. But I'm
not buying your book, bruh.
Carrie, you did not tell me that I could bring snacks.
Oh,
Carrie,
girl.
you did not.
We should start putting that in. You could bring snacks.
A cinnamon snack.
That's a good idea.
Okay, so where do you see the cannabis industry headed? And specifically, because you're such a glam mom. Like, I love your posts, I love your hair, your look, your everything. Beautiful. And I want to know if there's any innovative cannabis products that you're digging right now, like skincare or infusions. Like, if you tell me there's infused bubbly, I might just be very grateful to you. But what are the products that you love it?
You're going to enjoy those highs. You're going to enjoy the seltzers. Oh man, that's the thing. The innovation is so interesting. So like water soluble THC, you're going to see that. You're going to see a lot of CBD products, but I always tell people to be very cautious of that, just because there isn't an FDA on cannabis. Obviously, it's federally legal, right? So you don't know what you're getting in your products. Oh my gosh, a product? I'm trying to think if it's like an actual, and it's probably like an ancillary. Like some of the inventions are insane.
Right. Because them THC bath bombs people be talking about, I get in that bath, it don't do nothing for me. I need something.
You know what? I think I'm just basic. I don't like get into the hype of all the like buying the little knickknacks and stuff. Like I consume with a purpose and then I'm done. Like I don't care. Right. And of course I do have my recreational moments, but with a little kid, it's just not as often.
Right.
And so, you know, there's My Bud Vase. They are so gorgeous. They're like decanters and they're flower vases, but you can turn them around and it's also a bong. So they're very classy.
I like pretty looking cannabis.
I love My Bud Vase. So that's one of my favorites. Yeah.
Okay. And then what do you tell yourself when you're hitting an obstacle in your career? Like, how do you stay motivated on the tough days? Because you've got some serious fight going on with the work that you're doing right now.
Yeah, I think just getting comfortable with being uncomfortable and allowing me to be ugly.
Yeah.
Being uncomfortable makes me ugly.
Yeah.
But being able to communicate that to my team, which is my husband and son, that's the most important. But you know, I cry a lot.
Girl. Same. It ain't always pretty. Right.
Thank you for saying that.
Yes.
Yeah. I cry a lot. But then I make phone calls to other industry leaders because there's nobody who's going to understand me but another Black woman, I'm sorry, who's a mom, because it's not the same.
Right. Well, that's awesome. And I think you've answered most of my questions. Do you all have any questions before I hit the rapid fire?
No, this has just been really awesome. I've learned some things from you, and
And I just love that your team is your family. Like I just that is how we build. I just think that's so beautiful.
Yes. And just a little secret. If you do have a kid and you do own a business, check your state labor laws because you can put them on your payroll and it's a huge tax cut.
Listen,
I've heard of this. Yeah.
Okay.
I plan on having some babies now. Okay.
Right.
Put them suckers to work.
I was just talking about how I need to hire a housekeeper. Let me hurry up and have a kid. And they can run turn the work and pay them. I mean, it's a win-win.
Yes.
That's amazing. Yeah.
Well, I thank you so much for being here with us. I'm going to give you some rapid fire questions and then we'll wrap it up. But I just want to say salute to you being a woman, a female entrepreneur, you know, and carving out your own niche in this industry in Oklahoma. It's not easy, but you're building. And I can't wait a couple years from now to talk to you and hear how far you've come and all the wins that you will have, sis. So thank you.
Thank you so much. I love that. I truly appreciate y'all. Thank you.
Okay, so I'll get into my rapid fire questions. Describe yourself in 3 words.
Picky. Resilient. Giggly.
Yes. You better be discerning, honey. I know that's right.
Yes.
If you could sit down with any person that you admire, living or dead, they could be an entrepreneur or anything else, who would it be?
Who would it be? I'm gonna pick, oh my gosh, anyone?
Anyone.
Beyonce.
Okay.
Yes.
I would pick her.
Yeah. I think she's fabulous, but I also feel like her business sense is like, she should write a book about entrepreneurship. Yeah.
Yes.
And about taking control of her career and profession. Yes.
Yes.
Right.
What is your most used emoji?
The poop emoji.
I think I've seen that on your Facebook page.
Just me cussing. It's just me cussing, but trying to make it look pretty.
I love that.
What cannabis event, like if there was a week of something, would you most like to be a part of?
Ooh,
or what would you like to create? Either one.
Yeah, we're seeing a lot of the performing, industry and celebrity brands start to come out with cannabis, and we're starting to see that a little bit here. But a cannabis event, I don't know. I guess my kind of type of events are more like political and scientific conferences. I do like to go to events, but like being around a bunch of like sweaty, smelly stoners is not my thing. Okay, maybe 10 years ago it was.
Right.
I'm 32 now. When I was 22, I was okay in the middle of all of it.
Back up.
But that's what's so brilliant about it. It's such a diverse community. There's so many moving parts to it that if you're interested in learning more, there's a space for you to do so.
And maybe we need to create that event that you want, classy event.
Posh.
Posh, darling. Yes, honey.
Yeah.
With the infused La Croix and care and
I already sent you a link, Raj. Listen,
she already sent the link, honey. She already sent the link.
Thank you, sis. Listen. Okay, you going on a dream trip with your girls, Vanessa. No kids, no hubby. Where you going?
Oh my gosh. Some island somewhere.
Yes, everybody says I love it.
Listen,
like far away. Just far away.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter where you're at. It's who you're with.
That's
right. I get a break because I'm sleeping in,
Right.
Anyway.
Right.
Honey,
I'm going to skip my versus question, but who's on your playlist right now? Who are you listening to musically? Because I know you're a musician as well.
Yes. A lot of Adele.
Yes. Okay. Listen, sing your heart out, girl. What's your favorite munchie food?
Ooh, okay. So my favorite munchie food, I always need like salty and crunchy, and then I also need like turtle chocolates. Turtles. They're so bad. I
felt that in my soul.
The turtle's best, honey. I need some chocolate.
Turtle chocolate. Yes.
That's it.
Okay, and for my final question, what is one cannabis item that you can't live without?
One cannabis item that I can't live without. I would say my edibles that have an onset time of 20 minutes.
Which ones is those? I'm asking for a friend.
Let me tell you, y'all have them because we just have the tabs here, but 1906, they're in Colorado.
Yes.
They have, yes, their onset times are 20 minutes, super consistent, easy to dose with. It says it for whatever you want it for.
Okay.
Chocolate covered coffee beans.
I just learned something.
Chocolate covered coffee bean.
That sounds like
they're called the Go Beans.
Well, thank you so much for being here. I'm gonna throw the music on, but I appreciate you, lady. Thank you for joining us and gracing us today. I just wish you all the best on your new website launch. Congratulations on launching We Love to Talk, and we hope to see you again soon.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
You are our sister in power for the week. Everybody give it up for Vanessa Coke.
Thank you, everyone.
Much love, y'all. Share it. Go check out her site and support this incredible mom and entrepreneur in everything that she does. And we will see y'all next week.
And before we go, just please continue to make sure you're following us on our website, on our Instagram, subscribe to our YouTube page. And if you're interested in feeding an unhoused person this weekend, I'm going to put the link in right here. So thank you so much, y'all. Blessings.
Yes. Much love. Peace and blessings, y'all. Bye.